What is going on, y'all? It's your boy Roliver Queen. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing good. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications. I am joined by one of my lovely, scrumptious, delicious, handsome as fuck, and flavorful homeboys. Elvis, please reintroduce yourself to the people.
Hey, I'm back here again on Ro's channel, and we had just posted on my channel on Sourcewall a big long discussion about Thunderbolts. So it's funny to be back again because the movie that just keeps on giving.
Literally, and by the way, I will post a card up so you guys can go check out the discussion on Elvis's channel. It was a great time, so please go show my boys some love. So a little over 24 hours since our last discussion, we got hit with this. At this point, by the way, we should just say it. Spoilers are abound. We saw Thunderbolts, we talked about it, and one of the things that we were both happy about was the journey to where we eventually turned from the Thunderbolts to New Avengers. And I praised this, or at least I think I praised this by saying, hey, this is a great point A, B, C story. Very simple. The character work does the legwork. And I feel like the audience is going to be rewarded at the end because all of a sudden, we and the team was slapped with the new logo. And that's one of the charms of the movie. What Marvel decided to do was not even a week into the movie to get rid of the Thunderbolts logo and say New Avengers. So I feel really bad for people who didn't get to see this movie before they did this, because I feel like they were robbed of an experience. Because it's not just the logo. Don't get into it. It's not just the logo. It's the experience to get to the logo. And you just snatched that away from people. And now I'm sure people are still going to see the movie, but man, would it have been so awesome to just keep the Thunderbolts logo there for a good 2 or 3 weeks. Let people see the movie and see how we came to the New Avengers. But Elvis, what are your thoughts, man?
Well, I definitely agree. And you did mention that in our discussion. It's like it's so good to be a part of or to experience or watch one of these Marvel movies that's about something coming together, something, the beginning of something. And so when you get to the end of that journey in the movie, it really is a very exciting, very sort of impressive and awesome thing to see. It's so fun the way that these things are like cobbled together in such a very fluid, very cohesive way. That was really impressive for the movie. My main issue, though, you mentioned that it robs them the experience. My issue is that it flavors the experience in a way that doesn't benefit the movie.
Oh.
Like you go in like the New Avengers, like, okay, I'm here watching the New Avengers, but like no, you're watching like Thunderbolts. It's about scrappy misfits, underdogs. That's the experience. But like you going in like, thinking like New Avengers, it's not that kind of movie. It's not that kind of scale. It's not that kind of tone. Now, those movies have specific tones, specific vibe, and this just isn't in that kind of same mold. And so you go in thinking New Avengers, like I don't know, I feel like you're gonna come away from it like being a little more, maybe a little more disappointed, maybe a little more disinterested. You might even because it's no longer scrappy. It's like, oh, but we want it to be like the big thing, New Avengers, shocking, bold. Like, yeah, it's shocking because like how very kind of scrappy and charming the movie was. So like, oh, so it's like a big leap for the characters. Like, oh shit, man, now they're gonna be the New Avengers. So how are they gonna handle that? If you go in knowing that, it's like it doesn't give you doesn't start you with the same mindset that you give the characters when you're like, they're misfits. You're like, oh, okay, now that it's. I think it really does start it off on the wrong foot. It does sort of, I don't know, chip away at what makes the movie unique. And I don't like that.
Yeah, and also too, like whether you loved or hated the previous Avengers movies, it's like there's some things you can expect from it. So I'm saying like the Avengers movies are very grandiose, and I would argue and say they've gotten more grandiose from 1 to Endgame. You know, it's like the stakes keep getting higher. And, you know, no disrespect to Thunderbolts, but, you know, it's not a grandiose movie. It's not. But that's the
Yeah,
charm of it. It's not a. It's literally a bunch of ragtag heroes who were pulled from mixed reception TV shows and movies, and they came together. And literally up until the end, that's what they were until they were hit with the wait, what the fuck? We're the Avengers now. So it's like I can only imagine you walk into a movie theater after seeing this, and you're probably expecting to see some bombastic shit. You're not. Well, we're spoiling it now. You're not seeing bombastic shit, guys. You're not.
they spent, like we mentioned, they spent half of the movie like in a in a tunnel. And it's good. It's good stuff. It's good character work. It's good small scale stuff. And again, I feel like the title. Look at the logo. I really. My other thing is that the logo and the posters that they're showing out now, the new logo and everything like that, it also ugly. You know, like I wouldn't mind if the posters were good and the logo was good. The logo is like overly like gaudy and over the top. Like it's like one of those old school Avengers logos, and it's just like it feels really cheesy. And I think that's
Yeah.
part of the point because like they're a mass market team. But then you put it like on the official poster, it's like I don't know. Again, it's wrong. It's the wrong kind of energy for this. It really is.
So I want to pick your brain a little bit. Why do you think Marvel did this as early as they did?
Well, I think that they had to pull the cord on the joke at one point. I always thought it was going to happen because you know they had the asterisk. I think you're going to have to play with that at one point. Like, the movie itself wasn't enough. You actually had to pay it off like in the public space because
Mm-hmm.
the asterisks everywhere. Um, but I feel like they just did it a little bit too early, or like at least I wouldn't have done it this way, where it's like it looks that ugly. I would have done like maybe like new posters or like it's like a little font, little footnote, you know,
Mm-hmm.
underneath the Thunderbolts logo, something like that, something silly, something fun, not obtrusive. But this looks ugly as hell, you know.
So what would have been your time frame? Because like I said, I would have waited maybe
Um,
2 weeks,
yeah,
maybe
at least a
three,
week, at least a week.
at least.
Honestly,
Yeah, okay.
this is ridiculous, honestly. Not that I no, I can. I always thought it was going to happen. I just wish it was executed better. I just wish it was executed a little more cleverly. And it just isn't. This is just I don't know. It's the movie makes a lot of strong choices, and this feels purely marketing. This doesn't feel like it was came from the mind of the people who made this movie.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. AJ, who unfortunately couldn't be here with us, I think he's a little bit more cynical about it because he alluded to maybe Marvel wasn't too happy with the numbers that were coming in. I don't mind entertaining that mindset because it's like, damn, like what happened to just letting a movie sit for a little bit before doing something like this? At least a week. But like, are we really to that point where we have to pull these marketing stunts because we want these movies to hit a certain amount? Like, do we want every single movie to hit the Avengers, billion mark? It's not gonna happen. Or get close to that. No, not every movie's built like that. This movie's not built like that, to its own credit. But it's like I hope it's not the numbers game, but the way it was done, part of me thinks it was a numbers game as well. Like, I don't know, we're just speculating here, but man, this stinks. This really stinks.
It really does. And yeah, I can definitely see the numbers game as well. But again, that makes me think that like they're pulling this big stunt. People are going to go in thinking it's one kind of thing, and it's not. And that's a dangerous game to me, because something could be good. You go, but like if you're selling it like in a different way, that's not what people want. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like the marketing for Thunderbolts, as such as it is, was very effective marketing for what the movie is.
Mm-hmm.
The trailers, the posters are all very good at what the movie actually is. And this just feels jarring. Again, I wouldn't mind if this poster was. But look at this. This looks ugly. Like there's like blank PNG logo and like white space. Like not. It's not like who made
Yeah.
this. These are very cheap, ugly posters. It's weird.
Yeah, it's super weird. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I think people are still gonna go watch it, but man, I'm always gonna think back to just the viewer. That's where like for me at this point. I saw the movie. I'm like, fuck the money at this point. I'm just thinking about the viewer. Like, imagine how many people couldn't have seen Thunderbolts this weekend. You know, maybe they got kids. You know, maybe they got other obligations. Maybe they're in school. I don't know. Maybe they made time already to go see Thunderbolts this week. And then they see this and it's like, wait, the fuck? So, why do I have to see it if this is what I know it's coming? Like, I know this is right around the corner, so why would I go see it? So
And
it's.
you know,
Go
that's
ahead.
the thing too. But also that the anticipation to say what the fuck, so they go watch. Like, let's say the perfect world, this actually hooks someone. They go watch it. The new Avengers thing is just a punchline. So
Hmm.
they're expecting like, oh man, they're just building up to become the new Avengers. But not really. That's the
It's not.
punchline. It's a punchline. But what's building up is their bond, but not to become the Avengers. That like you're so again, it's the frame of mind. You're setting expectations. You're setting a different kind of energy out there, and it's not good. It's gonna backfire on someone. And that's a shame because they were robbed of a good experience for a good small scale team movie.
Yeah, and also too, we have to be fair. I think part of it also is just like Marvel doesn't know how to read the room because it's like got a lot of MCU folk are not comic book readers. I think we've established that already. So, you know, I think they were probably expecting, maybe they're expecting people to be wowed like probably we were when this happened in the comics. You know, like we had a very interesting team lineup when the new Avengers came aboard. So maybe they're expecting that, but people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know the new Avengers. A lot of people don't know after Civil War there was so much shit that went down that caused them to make the new Avengers. They don't know that. So it's just like, what was the mindset here? I don't get it, but you know, to close, I hope it was worth it. I really hope it was worth it. I really hope it was worth it because, again, I don't care about numbers. Like, you know how good a movie got to be for me to not care about numbers, and I think this was purely a numbers game and just not reading the room. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see now because now I have to pay attention to the numbers. Now we have to see in the next couple of weeks how did this marketing stunt affect it? Is this going to be a good thing or is it going to be a bad thing? Because you essentially spoiled the movie. And I mentioned on the timeline that isn't this is pretty much the same thing that happened with Birds of Prey. But if I'm not mistaken, did Birds of Prey even wait a week before they changed it?
They waited a couple of days because things were pretty dire, man. Things were pretty dire.
And that sucks because like this movie's not dire. Like yo,
Yeah, I know.
we literally watched the timeline, and even non people on the timeline, people who I know are not big comic book people or MCU people, saying, "Yo, I'm gonna go check out this movie," and we watched in real time. For the first time in years, the energy start to shift, and then you go and do this. Like in a perfect world, I would have loved to see this wait out. And here's the crazy part too. It's like normally I would have caught a spoiler before I saw the movie. I caught no spoilers. This is the first time where I feel like people really wanted to keep this secret to themselves and let the audience experience it for themselves. But lo and behold, Marvel's the one that just pulls it on. They pull the rug from under us. So we'll see how it goes. But Elvis, final thoughts, brother.
My thoughts are, it's not like the most heavily budgeted movie, and it did make decent returns first week, but, is this going to help? If it does help, what does that mean for the sequel? If it doesn't help, then that just means that Thunderbolts is dead in the water overall. So that's a
Oof.
shame. So,
Yeah.
fingers crossed. Fingers
If
crossed. It's worth it.
yeah, fingers crossed, man. Because a little bit of a spoiler on the conversation we had on Elvis's channel. Like, I feel that this movie has enough legs and enough material that if Marvel does it right, we can stretch this out for a good 2 or 3 years. Whether, regardless of what happens with Doomsday and Secret Wars, I still feel like this movie has legs. This isn't a one and done. So
Give
I
us the Elena trilogy. Yeah.
yeah, so
Come on.
give us that trilogy, and I hope this doesn't affect that. I hope this doesn't like kill that energy, but we'll see how it goes. I have no problem coming back here on the channel, and we can have a further conversation. When the theatrical run is done, and we can properly assess, was this worth it or was this not worth it. But
Sounds
thank you.
great.
Yes, let's do it. So thank you guys for checking it out. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And also please y'all go check out Unsourced Wall Radio. Elvis is doing a bunch of dope shit on there. If you don't see me talking about a comic book movie on here, there's a good chance I'm talking about it on Elvis's channel and vice versa. So please go check out Elvis's channel. And I will post a picture up, and I will post a card right above so you guys can just easily go link to that. But much love, much peace. It's your boy Roliver Queen and Elvis, and we are out.